Good afternoon, all of you. Excellencies, distinguished member of the Geneva Summit for Human Rights and Democracy. It is an honor to accept this Courage Award, one that goes beyond me as an individual. It is a testament to the resilience of a people who, in the face of adversity, have chosen not to give in, not to woo the face of adversity, not to stay silent, not to surrender. I share this award with María, Corina, Machado, whose determination embodies the unbreakable spirit of our nation, and with every Venezuelan who has made courage a way of life. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the determination to push forward despite it. And that is exactly what Venezuela has done. After 25 years of threats, Venezuelans have both on July 28th raised their voice and continue to fight today. The cost of this fight has been steep. Since the elections, more than 2,000 people have been arbitrarily detained. Forced disappearance and arbitrary arrests have become routine tools of persecution. My son-in-law was kidnapped on January the 7th, and his children, my 7 and 8-year-old grandchildren, when he was going to school. To this day, his whereabouts remain unknown. Former presidential candidate Enrique Marquez has also been arbitrarily detained. Human rights defenders like Rocío San Miguel and Javier Tarazona remain in prison. Under inhumane conditions. 5 members of our campaign team have spent more than 300 days seeking refuge in the Argentine embassy in Caracas. Over the past 2 months, they have faced relentless security forces siege and have been deprived of electricity and access to drinking water. María Corina has intercepted in broad daylight and abducted by security forces in the middle of a public demonstration. Journalists have been persecuted, media outlets shut down, and ordinary citizens in prison simply by expressing their desire to change. Each of these cases is not just a personal tragedy. They are part of a deliberate strategy by the regime to instill fear and crush any trace of dissent. The United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights has warned about the use of expression as a state policy, the shrinking of civic space, and the alarming condition of political prisoners. Meanwhile, Venezuelan migration, driven by repression and economic collapse, has become the largest humanitarian emergency in the Western Hemisphere. Millions of Venezuelans have sought refuge in neighboring countries and beyond, facing enormous challenge as they struggle to integrate and survive. In the face of this, the international community cannot remain indifferent. The struggle of Venezuelan people is not just about our freedom. It's also about protecting democratic stability across our hemisphere. The recognition we receive today is not a finish line. It is a reminder of the responsibility we share. It is not just about resistance. It is about building with ideas, with organization, with unity, building on the memory of what we once were and the certainty of what we can become. Democracy is not a distant promise. It's a space we must claim throughout concrete action with the conviction of those who know that fear is nothing more than an echo that fades in the face of determination. There are three urgent and necessary actions that I want to emphasize today. First, strengthening international pressure. Second, protecting persecuted Venezuelans. And third, enforcing international human rights treaties. The fight for democracy unites us across borders and calls us to rise the sacrifice so many have made. I want to thank the organizations that have made this summit possible, both inside and outside the country, who continue to strive for freedom. We are not alone. We are not few. There is still too much work ahead. Democracy must be fought for and with the support of the free world and unwavering determination of our people. We will prevail. The recognition is not just an award. It is a commitment, a reminder that our fight for democracy and human rights in Venezuela is our North Star. Thank you for your attention.
Podemos sacar una foto aquí.
Sí,